Nick and Matt Jackson, your favorite tag team, coming to the ring. The Young Bucks, the young 40-year-old Bucks coming to the. I don't know how old they are. Come for a match with TH2, the Hybrid 2. And this didn't. We had some early shenanigans, right, and a little brawl going on, and Bucks win, right? I mean, what do you think?
I thought it was fine. I thought it was good. I will say, and we've touched on this before in the past, is if you're the champions, you shouldn't struggle, in my opinion. Not every match needs to be like a 5-star classic. Not to say that champions should just squash all competitors, unless it calls for it with the character. But what I'm getting at is I felt like the match was a touch too long because you had the champions, the recognized best tag team in the world versus TH2, who's a very good tag team in their own right. But if we're, again, in kayfabe world, they're not the number one contenders. They're not even, I believe, in the top 5. So it shouldn't have been such a struggle, in my opinion, with kickouts and things of that nature for this to be kind of the first time they met. It should have been more dominant, in my opinion, for the and there's a little bit too flips and kick out at twos and independent pro wrestling per se in this opening bout, but it was fine. It was good. I liked it.
Well, and I like that they're still involving the and I keep forgetting their name every time.
Acclaimed.
I know the Acclaimed, right?
Yeah.
I like that they're involving them again too, right? Because that's, again, it helps build them in something that, like, we know they're not going to take down the Young Bucks and win the title, but because of that, they can get close and make this team look really good via the Young Bucks. And if the Young Bucks are going to do that and help build teams, I mean, that's a positive thing that I think we can enjoy about the Young Bucks as well. So I like the storyline telling that they're doing in that regard, right? The kind of long-term, here's another team mix. Because it's true, the champs would have more than just one, you know what I mean? Like one team being like, hey, we're your problem right now. It would be every turn, here's some jagoffs trying to get one up on you. So I like it.
And I also like the inclusion in this feud or storyline that we're going into, that SCU is there as well. Because one thing that does get a little bit aggravating as pro wrestling logic goes is, well, I have a feud with this team, and so I automatically get a match. And what I like about this is next week we're going to get the Acclaim versus SCU, and I'm assuming here that the Acclaim's going to get the victory, so that then you can establish a little bit more of this team is a real threat to the Young Bucks, right? If they beat the first ever tag team champs, SCU. Now, I believe it's Christopher Daniels, not Scorpio Sky, but still, if the Acclaim can beat SCU, right, if the Acclaim can beat them, then in 2 weeks or next pay-per-view or whatever it is, then I can buy into, okay, they might have the Young Bucks number, or they might get a close near fall.
It's even simple as that. Is like they beat clean SCU for some reason, and you see the Young Bucks backstage doing one of their weird making fun of WWE, watching the TV sideways, and they're kind of like, oh, shit. Even
pretty
that
good.
is helping. That puts them over sometimes just as much as, you know what I mean? Like giving them a victory sometimes. Like just giving that little legit, like, oh, snap, okay.
Meh. Right. And what I like about that, is, with this match, it was TH2 versus Young Bucks, I believe, for the maybe first or second time in the promotion. And yeah, it was just too many kick out at twos for the champs and non-number one contenders. So if the Acclaim can beat SCU, and then if the Acclaim, hell, if they turn on TH2 and beat them, and get some victories, now we don't just jump into a match with the Young Bucks, which has been WWE's kind of mode of, hey, we looked at each other backstage, now it's a championship match. Like, no, we got to build this team. And to your point, if the Young Bucks do the side look and maybe look at each other and maybe we're in over our head, that again allows a little bit more intrigue to a title match.
A couple extra bench presses tonight. Like, all right.
You know what I mean? More super kicks. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
10 more super kicks tonight before we go to bed.
10 more super kick practice.
Yeah.
10 more rounds of the super kick practice. Okay. Too sweet, bro.